It is going down, guys, at TalkNorwichCity here, back for another video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing relegation, something I didn't think I would be talking about this season, but after last night, Sunderland beating West Brom, it was confirmed that we are going down unless we can turn around a 17-goal deficit. Yes, a 17-goal deficit. And I don't think that's going to happen for some reason. So let's think how we're going to change things this summer and how we're going to get promoted from the Championship next season to make sure we're in the Premier League in a couple of seasons' time. So the first thing is, of course, the manager. We need to find a stable manager who is going to take us forward. We all thought that Chris Hughton was going to be the man. The board certainly thought that. That's the reason they held off sacking him for so long, because they wanted to get every last bit out of him until they knew for certain he wasn't going to be able to take this club forward. And that, a lot of people were slating the board, and certainly McNally for not sacking him in January. Of course, it's easy to say that now because things haven't worked out, but I'm so glad that Hughton was given the chance. And Adams, I don't think, if Adams would have come in January, I don't think anything would be much different now. We might have got a few more wins, but Adams was brought in to make an instant impact. That didn't happen, but everyone thought it would. He was brought in for that Fulham game. Everyone thought that because of his legendary status at the club, the players would get more fired up for him, the fans would get more fired up, and that certainly happened. But for one reason and another, the results just didn't come, and unfortunately that means that we're relegated now. But we can't look back and dwell on things. It's been a complete mess of a season. I'm sure all Norwich fans will admit that, but we have to just make sure we go forward and try and get back into the Premier League. So obviously Malky's a good shout. There's a few other managers lurking about. I hope Adams doesn't get the permanent job. I don't think he has it in him just yet to take Norwich forward and make us a stable club and back to where we belong in the Premier League. I think Malky would be the obvious replacement. Yes, he doesn't play this fantastic attacking flowing football, but you don't need that in the Championship. The Championship is probably one of the most difficult leagues in the world to get out of, and we just need someone who can play not sort of Hughton-esque football, but effective football where we can score goals, defend well, and get out of the Championship. Next, we have to find a leader. This season, we really did lack a leader. Basong never had it in him to captain. That was one of the poor choices this season from the club to make Basong captain. I'm looking at the likes of Snodgrass, Ruddy, Martin, players who have been at the club for a little while and can make differences in games. Russell Martin's been there for a long while. He knows the club inside out. A bit of a legend at the club. Snodgrass, probably one of our best players this season. Passion flows through him, and Ruddy is just a fantastic player and can get the players going. I look at them three players. Will they be here next season? Well, who knows? Snodgrass looks like he could be going to Celtic. Ruddy possibly might be making a move, but we just need to find a leader. We also need to make sure we get rid of the players who don't want to be playing Championship football. It's important that all of the players we have next season want to be playing for the shirt and want to be playing Championship football, because if they don't, they can move on. We're not holding them at the club. There's no point in having unhappy players at the club that will affect our performances and that will affect the movement forwards of our club. We also need to find a striker who actually scores goals. We thought we found the strikers this season in Hooper and Van Wolfswinkel. Hooper's done a little bit better, but still hasn't lived up to the expectations that we thought he would bring. I think Hooper will be a good Championship striker if we can keep hold of him. Personally, I think time's up for Ricky. I think he has to move on. I'm looking at the likes of Charlie Austin, Ings, players who we know can score goals in the Championship, and we can get hold of for cheap prices and Championship football prices. We need to get hold of them players. Johan Almander, actually, I think he's a good shout for a Championship player. I think he would score goals, as well as Becchio. Becchio scored tons of goals for Leeds in the Championship. We've got players in the team already who we know can score goals in the Championship, so hopefully we can utilise them. And also, we need to keep the core of the team and make us believe, because at the end of the day, if we release too many players, there isn't going to be that team cohesion there. We need to keep the core of the players, and we need to just add a few more Championship players who know the Championship as a league, and we just need to get out of it straight away. I was speaking to Simon Thomas, and he said, don't get too confident about coming straight back out of the Championship, but I am feeling confident. We're in a good financial situation. We're going to have sellout ground every week. The money's going to be flowing in, and I think we're going to bounce straight back up. I could be completely wrong. I called Europa League at the start of the season, so who am I to talk? But let's keep the faith. Let's move on. Arsenal on Sunday is going to be a bit of a pointless game. Let's just get behind the lads and move on to next season. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.